Well, all right then. Today is the day after Black Friday. What is new in the news is Derek Chauvin, made famous by arresting George Floyd and putting the knee on the back of his neck, has been stabbed. I believe I believe it is a federal correction facility in Arizona. And I did a show on this George Floyd and our Derek Chauvin stabbed in Stoic. So I've already done a show about this, and I've got debates and arguments over this issue and many others. I'm kind of reminded how best to deal with what I see as such toxic, egocentric people. How I've dealt with it in the past. And I kind of realize this is much of a power play going on here. This is no longer the age of information, or at least the internet, what they used to call we're in the information age, is no longer, because the powers that be, or at least the nonprofits out there that fight hate, believe that a free people cannot decipher good and bad information. And they've given a lot of power and control to very egocentric and very condescending people. Because they thought the others, at least condescending people on the left, the ones on the right have no such power, or very limited power. And they have not been even-handed at all. However, some of these groups are now seeing what they've allowed to gain power is now using its power against them when they have interest and freedom of speech and freedom of ideas. I will say, for example, groups like the ADL overlooked leftist groups that attacked conservatives. Now these same leftist groups are attacking people that support Israel, even Jewish people. It was unsafe for people to wear their yarmulkes. And it was not conservatives that were doing it primarily. There are conservatives that do it, but primarily it was leftist groups and pro-Hamas or pro-Palestinian groups that were using violence. I don't think that we should be frightened of freedom of speech and freedom of ideas and freedom of information. Unfortunately, it seems like we are in this day and age. We are, so many, or at least those in power, are frightened that information can be dangerous. Certain theories have too much hate in them to be even discussed. I, for one, want to live in a free society where people are free to speak their mind. Now, they say that freedom of speech doesn't mean that you don't have freedom of consequences. Well, okay, who decides these consequences? I often will ask people on Twitter, is before punitive action takes place in a civil society, shouldn't there be some form of due process? And I was often surprised at how they would never answer my question, or they would just make a statement about, this was before Elon owned Twitter. They would say Twitter is a private company and can do what it wants. One person stated, which was not my question. Sometimes the cult, when it runs into theories or questions they can't answer, they will become very obnoxious. Often they will say things like, "It's not my job. It's your job to learn, not my job to teach you." If you make rules, you should explain those rules. If you don't, you're just being an authoritarian. Just say, obey me because that's what I believe, and I don't care what you believe. Then we can move on. Again, you have, I said before, you have only two options, resist or flee, but I think you have more than that. You can go along for a while and then plan your resistance or plan your flee. I think it's a mini level approach. Resistance anyway. I don't owe these leftists any truth. I don't owe them any nobility because they don't have noble intentions towards me. And we are in a culture war. We are in a war where people will condescend to you and be awful towards you. And I think if we just settle this to America, we're making a mistake in this economic world. The economy is worldwide, and we have to seek other avenues in this war, because we cannot, if we give it up to these myopic, cult-like people, we will end up being losers. And I hope that we do not let our pride get the best of us. We must be humble. We must realize that we are losing. And we have to go back to the drawing board. And again, the ways to resist are many. And again, boycotts and looking for other avenues and other friends and other allies. How to be a good ally against the woke left seems to be I would say a good question to ask. How to be successful at resisting. Anyway, I'm I'm kind of bloviating now, and I just wanted to share my thoughts, and it's not really that structured. So like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and thank you for listening. Again, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.